What's going on, everybody? My name's Dylan. I'm a guitar player here on YouTube, and today we're going to be going through my pedal board and rig that I'm using here in 2026. Before we go any further, if you guys could please like, comment, and subscribe and join me on this journey of being a guitar player, checking out gear, and yeah, just hanging out. So today I want to take you through my pedal board build that I've been using for the past about a year and a half now. As well as the rig that I am using inside the Quad Cortex. This is my main rig. This is everything I use. I'm fully digital. So yeah, I'll be showing you what I use inside the Quad Cortex as well. So let's go ahead and get into an overhead shot of the pedal board so I can show you what the build consists of. So now that I got an overhead shot here, I'm going to go through each component just kind of briefly, showing you what I'm using, how it's all wired up and all that good stuff. To start off, the board itself is the Temple Audio Duo 17. I really like the Temple Audio stuff because as you can see here, there's a bunch of holes, and on the bottom of your pedals or your Quad Cortex, wireless, whatever it is, it's a base plate that sticks to the bottom of whatever pedal, and then you take a thumb screw, which you'll see when I flip this over, and it kind of bolts it down to the pedal board, so it's not going anywhere. I can tip this upside down and don't have to worry about this falling off or anything. So really love the Temple Audio stuff, as well as it has modular inputs and outputs, which I guess we can go ahead and get to that. I have the XLR mod on this side, out 1 and 2, and that runs from here underneath. On the other side, I have this kind of 4 normal 1/4-inch cable inputs and outputs. We have the effects loop 1 and 2, and then 1/4-inch out 3 and 4, as well as our power, which comes with the switch, which I think is really cool because I can just kind of turn it off but leave it plugged in, like during practice or whatever. Underneath, as you can see here, is the 1/4-inch, send 1, return, out 3 and 4. Our power, I'm using the Klotz DC7 with the little power adapter made for the Quad Cortex. You can't really see because it's bolted on there. And then I'm only actually using 2 outputs of the actual DC7 because we're using the 24 volts to power that, and that powers the Quad Cortex. One of these powers the wireless, and the other one powers the lights that we're about to see here. This is the XLR. It runs from XLR to 1/4-inch, and then out XLR again. And yeah, try to have things as tidy as I can get them. Not the cleanest build, but definitely cleaner than some I've seen out there. And then you can see here are your thumb screws for holding down the Quad Cortex, holding down the wireless. And then on the Mission Engineering pedals, all I did was unscrew the feet and then screw the feet back in through the board instead of using a plate. So yeah, that is the underneath. And so that's the board itself. Now on to what I'm actually using. It's pretty obvious here. The main thing is the Quad Cortex. I have my wireless set up here. Either I connect obviously wireless, or I can go 1/4-inch just regular cable in, and it will bypass the wireless. So when I'm at home, just plug into the side of the board here, ready to go. If I'm playing a show, I'll hook up wireless. And then we have the Neural DSP Mission Engineering Expression pedal. It does come with the toe switch, so you can use it like a traditional wah. I like having it set up almost kind of like a whammy, where it always returns back to this. I saw a trick where you take a piece of a bike tube, like from the inside of the wheel, cut a piece out, and it's basically just like a nice thicker rubber band that will pull this back. This one's been stretched out quite a bit, so it doesn't have the snap back like it first did, but that just makes it to where it always comes back to 0. I was having a hard time feeling the click and also hearing it when I was playing live, and so this was able to give me the reassurance that as long as this is touching and is flat, it's off. So that's how I'm running that now. And yeah, just a little trick if you wanted to. They do make a spring-loaded Mission Engineering pedal that maybe I'll get one day, but this is kind of just a little $5 or cheaper fix. You know, if you have a old bike tube in your garage, you can do that there. I do have, again, from when I was playing live, I never had a mic stand to like put my picks in. So, and I don't like having them in my pocket, so I put little pick things here. I don't like having them on my guitars as well. So I thought on the pedal board would be a good spot. We'll go ahead and power up the pedal board, and like I said, it has a switch, so we can just flip that there, and on it comes. As you can see a little bit underneath, it's kind of harder with the lights, but we have, you know, light, comes with a remote. You know, you can change whatever color you want. You can have it solid, you can have it flashing. Yeah, we'll wait for the quad cortex to pop up. So as you can see, we have it all powered up. Again, we have lights underneath. We have the Shure GLDX16 Plus, I believe is what it's called. Doubles as a tuner. I kind of just use that more as like a master mute, and I use the regular tuner from the quad cortex. Yeah, the quad cortex itself, I have it in hybrid mode at the moment. And yeah, that's the basic rundown of the pedal board. You know, when I'm playing live or just anywhere, studio or whatever, I just go XLR out. I want to go, you know, DI out or whatever, I'll use the regular 1/4 inch. So now I'm going to take you through my rig that I'm using here in 2026. Alright, so as you guys can see here, I have Cortex Control pulled up. At the moment, I have the quad cortex set up in a hybrid mode, using scene mode on the bottom 4 and stomp mode on the top, kind of my main sounds on the bottom, and just some effects pedals to throw in here and there on the top. So yeah, let's just go ahead and take you through what the rhythm tone sounds like. I am using my Rabea Sterling Saver, tuned to drop C. So yeah, that is my main rhythm patch. Let's get into what we got going on in the preset. So my main tone is coming from the Fortin Nameless. I'm using a Fortin Nameless on one side and a Victory Kraken Channel 2 on the other. I really like blending kind of Marshall-y EL34 tones on one side and kind of American 6L6 5150 kind of vibes on the other. I think those two are a great pairing. You get kind of the boomy low end and more beefy chugs from like the 6L6 and the 5150 kind of vibe, and then you get more of like the note definition and kind of the sizzly top end from the Marshall EL34, like that kind of gritty kind of vibe, in my opinion. That's kind of how I look at them and balance them out. Running into both of those is just a regular 808, typical metal settings, level all the way up, drive all the way down, tone to taste. That is running into essentially a 412 Mesa oversized cab. On one side we have the V30s with a 57, levels pretty low. And then we have the Mick Thompson DV77 Eminence Speaker IR with a 57 on the other side. And that's mainly what you're hearing. Got a little bit of EQ after that. Yeah, it's kind of just some settings that I have going on. And yeah, so that kind of makes up my rhythm tone. I'll go ahead and show you what each side sounds like. So this is the Fortin Nameless. And here is the Kraken. And again, both together. Lots of gain. Yeah, so that is the main rhythm tone, and that's mainly it. Lead tone is that, but with reverb and delay. Sloppiness. Anyway, that's, yeah, my lead tone. After that we got telephone, which again, same tone, but just adds another EQ. What do we got going on? Yeah, just boosts the mids, takes out all the lows, takes out all the highs. So that is gonna be So yeah, just kind of that telephone effect for like intros and stuff like that. Going into our clean, that's where we switch amps. When we switch over to clean, I'm using a Bogner Vishu 20th clean. We got the Gojira chorus going into the front of that, as well as obviously reverb and delay. Everything else is staying the same. Cab is still the same. EQ is still the same. We're just switching to the amp. So that sounds like. So yeah, a little bit of ambience on there, but just kind of your typical clean sound. Yeah, let's go back to rhythm, and I'll show you my stomps. So my rig in 2025 was basically the same thing, but without the stereo Kraken. So it was just the Fortin Nameless part, and then each one of these was a scene instead of a stomp box. It was a fully scene mode. So I couldn't layer things. So here, if I show you, we got the rhythm tone. And here's the thunder paw, the thunder claw on top of it. nice and fuzzy. I was using that back in, in 2025 as my main rig, but I couldn't, say throw the Pog on with it. It would just switch from Thunderclaw to Pog, because when I went to rhythm, I wanted everything to go back. Whereas if I, turn these on and then go from lead to rhythm to clean, they stay on, and I wanted everything to kind of reset back down. But now, since I'm no longer in the band and just kind of doing stuff here in the studio, I decided to do hybrid mode so I could like layer things up and try out different sounds. So let's go ahead and show you the Pog with the rhythm. So again, here's without. Throw the Thunderpaw on top of that. So yeah, we can layer things up and get super disgusting with it. Another one of my favorite fuzz pedals, I'm a big fan of Knocked Loose, and they introduced me to the Swollen Pickle. So we have a capture of that here. So again, here is rhythm on its own. And Swollen Pickle. Just disgusting. And we'll throw the Pog on that. So yeah, we can just layer things up, get super disgusting with it. And then we have the phaser. I like a good phaser on there sometimes. So that would be good with the telephone sound. So yeah, just all kinds of things that we can kind of combine and do and try to create songs. Right now I have the expression pedal as like a whammy, so doing like a... So yeah, I'll take you real quick through what I'm actually using. Here at the beginning, we just have the transpose. If I want to like change the tuning, then that goes into the Gojira Wow, and again we're doing that with the expression pedal. It's just going up 1 octave at the moment. Into the Gojira chorus, that runs into the front only during my clean. And then that goes into the Gojira phaser. I like to use the plugins because I paid for the plugins. I'm gonna use them on the Quad Cortex. So yeah, using a lot of Gojira stuff. And then that goes into the Gojira octave pedal. That then goes into the Thunderpaw pedal in the Quad Cortex itself. That's on the Thunderclaw. And then into a capture that Nico from Knocked Loose did of his Swollen Pickle. These are actually the settings as well that are being used. Again, Bogner Vishu 20th Clean as my clean amp, using a regular green 808 as my overdrive in front of the Nameless, as well as the Victory Kraken. Reverb and delay, analog delay. I need to change that to stereo actually. But analog delay, plate lush reverb, Graphic 9 Legacy EQ doing the telephone. I could probably just set it all on the one EQ, but anyway. Basically a Mesa 4x12 with a V30 with a 57 on one side, the DV77 Mick Thompson speaker 57 on the other side, and then a Graphic 9 EQ, and then that goes XLR out, left and right. Yeah, that's my rig for 2020. Anytime you guys hear me do any kind of swolas that I post every week, if you watch those reels, this is what I'm using. The left side is the Nameless, the right side is the Kraken, and then if you are watching any of my covers or anything that I do, or even like the little mini reels of like covers that I do, it's always just a mono signal of just the Nameless. So everything stays the same for the mono signal, just it eliminates the Kraken. So that is going to do it for this video. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly take you through my pedal board, how it all works, how it's all hooked up, what components I'm using, as well as showing you the rig that I have built and the tones that I've came up with and what I'm probably going to be using for majority of 2026. So yeah, if you guys could please like, comment, and subscribe and join me on this journey. Comment down below what your favorite part of this rig is and what rig you're using, and yeah, are you digital, analog? I'm thinking about getting back into analog gear, so we'll see how that comes in due time. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Again, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.